So when I got married in 1977, I decided I have to grow most of the things what my family needs. So we adopt that idea about family farm. Grow what you need, what your family needs, and then you sell the surplus. Always producing the things you need and sell what you don't need. You feed some to your animals, your chickens, your pigs and turkeys, whatever, but keep seeds to plant the following crop and just keep experimenting every year, doing what you have to do, what you need. Then I got into that fire burn, so I decided to quit burning and just do the Mata Hambre system where you don't burn. And we keep doing that for all these years. It's 45 years now we're doing it. And we're growing a wide variety of crops, short-term, long-term crops, and we just sell and keep doing. And we really believe that's the best way. You need to work and learn the things you need. Keep doing, keep learning, and keep doing it in that sustainable way where you take care of what's taking care of you. And there's nothing better than taking care of it, building it up, feeding it so it could feed you more. Presently in the world, we're destroying the things so we could get what we need. If we would learn to feed it, we would get more, and we also would learn more about it. So now that's what we keep doing, but I really want to spread the idea to other people. We need to start, more people need to start to do what they need. We can't have enough money to buy the things we need in the future. Besides that, we don't know what or how they grow it. So when you grow it yourself, you will know what it contains, and you will be doing the work. You will be employing yourself, your family. You can't be unemployed. You have lots of things to keep you busy, so you don't have time to get in trouble. You're doing what you need. Trouble needs time. You have to have time. No time, well, keep busy doing every day, learning something new, and just keep experimenting. With experimenting, you will learn to do better and better.
Mr. Burton, how do you feed your garden?
Well, we bring in topsoil and mulch and every organic material to feed our organism, because the organism feed the plants and the plants feed us. More you feed the organism, more the organism feed the plants, and more production you will get for yourself. And I really believe that's the original way. There was no burning in the beginning, just everything working in harmony and producing to the best of their ability. Presently, I believe we're using too much shortcuts, like encouraging the plants to grow too quick so we could make more profit, but at the same time we're lowering the value of the production we're having. We might be making more money, but then again we're contaminating the soil and also the production, and that will lead to more sickness and less productivity.
So what is mulch? How do you get it?
Well, mulch, it's any grass clippings, bush sticks, whatever you get in your driveway, around your house, all around, ball fields, buildings, whatever. Whichever place you're cleaning, you could rake up the trash, which is food, but it has to be converted by the organism. So then your plants could use it to produce the food you need. So I believe that's the best way. Feed the environment so the environment could feed us all.
So what kind of plants do you plant to feed your family?
Well, we grow a wide variety of short term, which is vegetables, and medium term, which is fruit trees, and long term is timber trees for lumber and so. So we grow a wide variety with vegetables. And that's mainly in the dry season, because in the rainy seasons you have more insects. And like how we don't spray poisons, so the insects would have their fun in the rainy season by eating up some of your vegetables. But as soon as the rains slow down a little, you will have better production. And that's how you do. You can't be killing out the organism and the insects, because they too serving a purpose.
Yes.
They must be doing something, and that's why they come up. Maybe their job is to humble us a little, so we don't make too much money too quick. And like that, we could be better off, because we're treating everything with respect. I believe we humans have lost respect for the environment. The environment is doing so much good for us, producing everything we need, and we're treating it in a wrong manner by burning or poisoning, or even by plowing up the place too much. We make it erode, and now all that erosion is going out to the sea and destroying the corals and blanketing all the organics out there where it's not needed. So I believe this method, when you put mulch on your soil, it will not wash away. The rain will come, but it will not melt the soil account I hit the mulch before it hits the soil. The raindrops is like a bullet. When it comes down and hit the open peel soil that has no covering, the raindrops dig the soil, and eventually it washes away. So you will have more erosion, poorer soils, and that will lead to less productivity.
What do you think about people who monocrop and the dangers of monocropping?
Well, lately, or in the developed world, they have learned a technique of monocropping where you could make bigger production with less cost, and that's how your profits could be bigger. But bigger profits could mean more wrong techniques you're using to make a bigger profit, and that will still come back to you again by using wrong methods, wrong products to build up your production. You might make more money, but the ones who getting your production will lose more money by have to visit the doctors more and less time to work, a lot of bad feelings, you know. So I really believe we should try to do it in a more natural way where everybody wins. We need this win-win idea. When only we win, that's not the best way. Everyone should win. All the creation is important. All of them need to keep multiplying and do what they were created to do. I believe we need to respect the ones who created them, because they already know what those little organisms or workers was to do. We're stopping them from doing their work. So I believe that is wrong. We need to respect all the creation so they could continue to create the way they were created to do. Also, monocropping, why everybody likes it, it's much cheaper. You do a big amount of one kind of crop in one place. You learn the specific amount of fertilizer or chemicals to spray, and you do a big production at a cheaper cost. But that's really not respecting nature. Nature doesn't do it like that. All in nature is mixed up, because each plant take care of the other plant. And every plant has its own insects. So if you plant too much of one crop in one place, which is monocropping, you will develop too much of one kind of insects. And that's when you will have to bring in some serious chemicals to spray out those insects. And that's when you will start to contaminate your production. And that's why I believe we need to follow the methods of nature. Nature had already known that if you mix up everything, you will not have to spray out one kind, because they will not develop too much, because every plant develops its own insects and each one control the other one, so you would not have to control them. I don't do spraying on my farm. If the insect want to eat some, well, let them eat. Once they are working, they will get hungry and they need to eat. We need to feed them. The Bible said feed the hungry. What it didn't say who are hungry. I believe all of nature is hungry, and our job is to see to it that they get their right food, what they need. Big respect to the environment. We have lost our respect for nature, and if we lost our respect for nature, we lost our respect for God, the Creator, because we're not following the rules that He created to work, which is still working, but we are hampering it with our way of doing things where we want to win, but we don't want our other neighbors to win. They say you have to love your neighbor. The big question is, who is your neighbor? I believe everything is your neighbor. We were all created by the same Creator, so we are neighbors, either far or near, still neighbors. And He said we should love our neighbors as ourselves. So that means we don't like to get burned, we shouldn't burn them. We don't like to get poisoned, we shouldn't poison them. They were created to do their work. Let's help them to help us. First, we need to learn to produce for ourselves. So we practice small, and by practicing small, producing what you need, you will learn how to produce a little bigger in the future. For right now, you need to grow a little of most of the things you need. Don't try to go into one crop big. You might have problems selling it. The price might drop. So it's better to produce and use instead of make a lot of money and buy all the things you need. Learn to produce it, learn about it, and maybe in the future you will reach to the stage where you could export some. But for the meantime, grow for yourself, learn some more, and keep doing it that way. You have to creep before you walk. You just can't decide to export. Exporting has a lot of rules. They need quantity and they need quality, and you have to be constantly having production, and that is not always possible. So grow for yourself. Everything doesn't have to pass through money. This method I'm proposing or I'm promising or I'm doing, then even a poor person could start his farm. You have a very small little input like your machete and your file. It doesn't need tractors and lots of expensive equipment. They are for people who could afford it. Small farmers need to start small, gain your experience, improve your seeds and whatever, and go a little bigger so you need. If you do too much of one crop, you can't do the other crops. Then you will have to be buying it, and you will not be knowing what you're getting. So if you want to know what you're eating, you have to know how it's being grown. I hear a lot of people say that fruits and vegetables are good, and I agree with them. But the main thing is how you grow them, what you feed them. If you're feeding them natural, well, they are natural. If you're not feeding them natural, then they are unnatural. Our body was created to eat organic foods. I try to tell people that we have changed the diet of the plants. The plants were created to eat organic fertilizer that organisms produce. Now we have changed their diet to eat ash from fires. Everybody tell me the plants need potash. I tell them, who giving potash to the rainforest? Who is doing all that? The plants doesn't really have to get potash. They get their organic fertilizer from organisms, and that must have the potash what they need, because I see they grow very healthy in the high forest where nobody is working. So we need to follow nature. We need to copy. I can't understand where the child will lead the mother. It's the mother who leads the child. When I watch my chickens, I see it's the mother hen that leads the chicks. It's not the chicks that leads the mother. So I really believe agriculture is that we have to agree to do our part, and the other organisms do their part. We can't do their part for them. Each one has his part to do. Big respect to the environment. We have to love the environment. The environment was created to love us, but we are not doing our part. If we start to do our part, everything will fall in line and be so good as it was in the beginning. So keep experimenting, keep doing. It will only get better.